pleasure to be here this morning to discuss the point of sales tax bill. I have the distinct pleasure of being the primary author of the bill and worked with a number of other legislators to try to come up with a strategy that we believe does a couple of things very well. And most importantly, as candidate Borders has said, it gives us an opportunity to raise revenue without raising taxes. The bill was introduced originally in February of this year when the state faced an enormous budget deficit. And fast forward to September 22nd, the problem has gotten even worse, but yet we've taken no action on House Bill 356. It's a simple measure that allows a city or county to control the flow of revenues that is due that city or county without having to go through the State Department of Revenue to collect the taxes. It's a simple effort to increase government efficiency, put more control back on local governments, and streamline the process. As Lisa mentioned, we've seen several examples where this really works and works well. We know, because the Department of Revenue states to us that there are over $1.6 billion in revenue that's not collected each year. If we were to get at a minimum of 50% of that, that's $600 million. If we were to get 75%, that's $900 million in additional revenue that could be available to the state, to the counties, and to the city. So I stand before you to support wholeheartedly movement on House Bill 356 so that we can get the additional revenue for the state, the cities, and the counties that we so absolutely need at this time. Thank you.
Lisa, thank you so much for allowing us to come down and show our support. You know, I watch the cities of Metro Atlanta as the mama chair, and one of the things that I look forward to is the ability for us to make the most of the taxes that are already on the books. And this is one where we have the opportunity to truly bring more desperately needed revenue to local governments who so desperately need it. And at a time that the discussion in our state, not more than a year ago, was about converting our tax system to potentially relying solely on sales tax, it seems like the right time, in preparation for any moves that would make us more reliant on sales tax, to do everything that we can to collect the tax that's owed. The Georgia Municipal Association looks forward to working with the City of Atlanta and all of its members, as well as our friends in the ACCG, to continue to move all of the positive legislation forward and continue to try to get the most out of the tax that's on the books.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm pleased also to be here and lend a voice from the Commission, County Commission perspective. ACCG is in support of this policy and is very interested in moving forward on creating the efficiencies that we can with point-of-sale collection and local accountability. We are always challenged for transparency and also consistency in our revenue collection. And if we can increase revenue collection and make sure that all consumers are equally sharing in service delivery costs, we'll be better served for it. So I'm grateful to be here today to show support in this valuable initiative as we take it to the General Assembly. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. Wow. Good introduction there. Thank you. It's great to be here to talk about a campaign to collect the taxes. Now, these are taxes that you and I are paying. They're just not getting where they're supposed to go. And it only makes sense for us to move forward in the way that we can get this done. Now, I'm a small town mayor, I understand that, but I've also been in business for 40 years. And I can tell you there are two things that you have to know in business. One is where every dollar comes from, and the other is where every dollar goes. And if you're not operating your business like that, you're not operating it efficiently, and you're not operating it like it should be. And the state of Georgia is not operating very efficiently right now. The GMA has for years now had in its platform point-of-sale collection of taxes, municipal option sales tax. Point-of-sale collection of sales taxes is the most important thing that this state can do right now. It's especially important in times like we're in right now. It's important in good times, but in times like we're in right now, we can't afford not to be doing this. So the question ought to be, if you're not in support of this, why not? So you need to get with it, get in the program, and let's let's make sure that the taxes that the people of this state are paying get to where they're supposed to go. So thank you. I commend you, Lisa, for standing up for this item. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank all my colleagues, and it is no mistake and no accident that each one of these individuals was called. I called these folks and asked them to stand with me. Many of them have been working on this concept. I know Mayor Biker had been working on this concept because he served on the study committee. But we look to build a coalition, bipartisan coalition, at every step of the way. We also look to have a representative from every level of government, city, county, state, and we have done that. So we have a collective group of voices who are saying to the legislature, we want this done. The system that is in place today is both inefficient and ineffective. Most importantly, there are opportunity costs to the dollars that are not being collected and the time that the state holds these dollars and withholds this money from the counties and the cities and the citizens that need it the most. So let me stop there and entertain any questions that the media might have for us now.
Looking at this system that the state currently has and the point of sale system, can you explain how they differ?
The point of sale, well, the way the system is set up today is that retailers send their money directly to the state. If I understand correctly, and I will ask for help from my state colleagues if I misspeak, is that there is a $5,000 threshold that is set. So the auditing function at the state begins at $5,000. So let me just start there and say people report directly to the state. Anyone under $5,000 or any business under $5,000 runs the risk, or we run the risk, of not having any reporting from them because there's no auditing function that looks below the $5,000 number. So compliance is an issue. We've got folks that are supposed to self-report what they are bringing in as a business. We have an audit issue as well, and then we have a timeliness issue. So if in fact we could collect at point of sale, if there were some electronic method of receiving the money immediately, then you could in fact, and we all know in our counties and our cities where the businesses are. The state doesn't necessarily know that, nor do they have the auditors that can monitor what folks are doing. So it is a much more immediate ability to track what's going on in your local jurisdiction and get the money in much more of a timely fashion. And all of it, hopefully. That's the biggest issue. Yes, sir.
Roughly how much does the city of Atlanta collect in these taxes on a yearly basis, and how much how much do you estimate the city is missing out on?
Yeah, Stacey, do you want to comment, answer